This is Fazan from Regrotech, and today we will see how to write a program to store first 5 factorials in an array and display them using the while loop. Okay, so first what we will do is we will break this question into different parts and we'll see how exactly we can simply write this program. Okay, so first thing let's do is break this program. So what our statement says, it says to store first 5 factorial number. So we are going to break it like first 5 factorial numbers, and then what we have to do, we have to store it, right? We have to store it in an array. So we have to store it in an array. This will be our second part, and then the last part will be we have to display them using the while loop. Okay, so for displaying we will be using the while loop. Okay, so what exactly we can do, the statement that we have broken, we'll just write it here. The first thing that we need to do is we have to find factorial for first 5 numbers, right? So for finding the factorials, we have to write first 5 numbers. First 5 numbers we have to extract first and then find a factorial, right? First 5 numbers and then you have to find factorial. Find factorial. We will be finding factorial of these 5 numbers. And another thing is, after finding each factorial, after finding factorial, we need to store it. After finding factorial of each number, we will store it in an array. We will store it in an array, right? In an array. What will be the size of the array? Since it is mentioned like we need 5 numbers, right? So it will be an array of size 5, right? So we will be declaring an array of size 5. And after that, what does our third statement say? Third statement says display them using while loop. So what we are going to do is we will display them. Display, that is, we will be printing them using while loop. Okay, so we have broken down our program into 3 different parts. So for finding the first 5 number, how do we do it? We can use a for loop for finding the first 5 numbers, and that will be running up to 5, right? So our for loop will start from 1 and it will go up to 5 and it will increment each time. So this will give me first 5 natural numbers. And for each number, like suppose if we are getting the first number, then for that number we need to find a factorial. Okay, and after finding factorial of each number, that is, we are still in the very same loop. So we will be finding the factorial of each number. So we have got from here, and then whatever will be your factorial, we will be storing it in an array. Okay, and since it is of size 5, so we will be declaring our array of size 5. Okay, and at last we will see how exactly we are going to print using the while loop. Okay, come on, let's move to our Eclipse IDE where we will be writing our program. So first let me go and create a class. So I'm inside this array package and I'm going and creating a class. So we will name this class as Factorial. Since we are storing in array, so Factorial in array. Okay, so we are writing this, and also I am trying to use this method public static void main. Instead of writing, I'm just trying to get it from here. So we will be finishing this. So here, if you see, this is how exactly your class will look once you create it. So we'll remove this part and now start with our programming. So if you see, we had divided our program into 5 parts, right? So first we will see what exactly we have to do. First 5 numbers. How are we going to do that? For finding the first 5 numbers, we are going to write a for loop. For, and in bracket, let me just zoom in a little for you. Yeah. So first we will be writing for, and inside bracket will just be initializing our I variable, I equal to 1. Since we need 5 numbers, so I will go up till your 5 equal to 5 and then I plus plus. Okay. So we got this, and then what we will do is, if we just print this, suppose we are just giving a system.out.println statement here, what output we will get is, we will get the first 5 numbers, right? But we don't have to print the numbers here. What we have to do, for each number we need to find a factorial. So how can we find the factorial? What exactly is a factorial? So let's discuss here what exactly is a factorial. So a factorial of a number is nothing but all the numbers starting from 1. Suppose we need to find factorial of 1. 1 factorial will be 1 only. Okay. Now coming to 2 factorial. 2 factorial means, this exclamation sign means that we are speaking about factorial. Okay. 2 exclamation sign means we are trying to find the factorial. So it means starting from 1, we will be multiplying number up to that number, all the numbers that come in between up to that number. So 1 and 2. So 3 factorial will be starting from 1 and all the numbers in between will be multiplied 2 and 3 up till the number. For 4 factorial, it will be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. Similarly, for 5 factorial, we will have 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Okay. So let's see what exactly will be the answer. For 1, it will be 1 only. For 2, it will be 1 into 2 is 2. For 3, it will be 1 into 2 is 2 into 3 6. And for 4 factorial, the answer should be 24. And for 5 factorial, the answer should be 120. If you multiply these number, you will get 120. So our output should be 1, 2, 6, 24 and 120. But we have to store each of these in an array, right? The second statement that we had broken down. So what was that? It was like finding the factorial of each number. So we have got the factorial of each number now. And now we will be storing it, right? Come on. First, we will write the program to get the factorial. So what we will do is, we will write int fact. I'm just declaring a variable as 1, because we need to initialize a variable fact as 1, since we will be multiplying it each time. And then we will run another loop. So I'm just writing for finding the factorial. So I'm giving the variable name here as our x. For x equal to, it will start from 1 and it will go up to x less than equal to, where should it go? Every time, what is I doing? I is actually giving us the number, right? First time when we will run I, whenever I is running, so what we will get? For the first time, we will get 1. Second time, it will be 2. Third time, it will be 3. And for the fourth iteration, we'll be getting 4 and so on for 5. Okay. So we will go up till I. Okay. So we will put this and increment our x. We have incremented this, and now what we will do is, we will try to just multiply this. Fact will be equal to your fact multiply with your x, because in x we are getting each number now up till that particular number. So we have got this. So this is done. So what will happen? This fact will now, after this for loop, this fact, what would this will contain? This will contain the factorial of that particular number, right? Now we need to store it in an array. Okay. So now, since we have to store each of the numbers in an array, so we will be inside this for loop. We will still remain inside this for loop. Here, if you see, this is the closing bracket of this for loop. Okay, so what we will do now is, we will first declare an array, since we need to store it. And what will be the size of the array? As mentioned, it will be of size 5. Okay, so we'll declare int, and we will just give the array name as ARR, and then your box bracket equal to new int, and then we will give the size. So this is your array declaration. Now we have declared an array of size 5, right? So this is done. Now what we will do, we will simply store our values, right? ARR of, this will be I minus 1. Why? Because when your I is 1, then our array index, because our array index starts from 0, right? It doesn't start from 1. So what we will do is our array will start from I minus 1. So we'll store it in I minus 1. So come on. So this will store what? This will store the factorial. So here it is. This has stored the factorial. Now what all we have covered? We have already covered these two parts. We found the first 5 numbers and its factorial. We have found that, and also we have now stored it in an array. Now these two things are done. Only we are left with displaying it using while loop, right? So for displaying it, we will come outside this for loop. Now this for loop part is done. We are done with this for loop part. So now what we will do is we will just write a program to display, right? So for using a while loop simply to display anything, what we will do is we will use a counter, int count count. I'm just giving a name. You can just give any another name here. So in count, I'm starting it from 0 since our array index starts from 0. And then we will use a while loop. While your counter count is less than 5. While it is less than 5, till then it will do something. So what we have to do, we just simply have to print the number in our array, right? So we will do system.out.println and we will print our counter, right? So we will print count count. So it will not just count, we will print the array arr of count, not just the count. We have to print array and inside we will provide the count. Now what we will do is we will do count plus plus. We will increase the value of count. So what will happen is this will print the complete value inside the array list, right? In the array, not array list, sorry. Okay. So this is exactly the piece of code that will cover our third part, that is display using while loop. Okay. So now what we will do is we will simply run this program. Let me run this program. I have saved it and now I will run this program, run as Java application. So here if you look, so whatever answer we were expecting, we have got that, right? So here if you see, for the first value in our array, 1 is stored. For the second we have 2. For the third we have 3. For the fourth we have 24, and the fifth we have 123. This is what was expected of us, right? So this completes our program. So as per what we had discussed, this is what was expected: 1, 2, 6, 24 and 120, and we have got our result exactly the same, right? So with this we come to an end of this particular program, and do like, subscribe and share with your friends, and yeah, we will be coming up with more programs. Thank you.